Listen, I love Selena as much as the next guy, but I don't know how they get away with making a million projects about her. Oh my golly, Wally, enough is enough. Hello, Netflix? Yeah, I was wondering if you could send over some more of that Selena footage. Yeah. No, I just figured you probably had a little bit more over there. Just wondering if you could just send it over. That would be appreciated. No, I know you have more. No, I actually need more. Find more. All right, welcome to Tate's Take. If you're new here, today we're talking about the new Netflix documentary, Selena y Los Dinos, A Family's Legacy. And if that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Tate's Takers, look, let's just get into it. These people got so much damn Selena footage, you would think she's still here. Okay, quick background here. Selena y Los Dinos, A Family's Legacy is a new documentary coming to Netflix on Monday, November 17th. The documentary first premiered at this year's Sundance Film Festival and took home the Documentary Special Jury Award for archival footage. This thing was so popular, it had to be removed from the online stream because fans were recording clips and putting it on social media. I swear we can't have nothing nice. Anyway, then it went to South by Southwest in March, and that's where I first got to see it while I was there covering that film festival. Here is where it won the 24 beats per second audience award, and it's also no exaggeration to say that I watched this movie literally sitting next to the Quintanillas. This is a video that I took. That's literally Selena's parents getting a standing ovation at the end of the film. On stage, you got the director, Suzette, Chris, some other band members, producers. The energy was insane. After it left South by Southwest, Netflix entered a bidding war to get the rights to the film. And y'all know Netflix ain't losing no bidding war, so it's fucking going to Netflix. The documentary was directed by a woman named Isabel Castro. She was handpicked by Universal. Universal is the company that owns the rights to Selena's music. She's also a 5-time Emmy-nominated director, so yeah. Isabel says that she became a Selena fan when the movie came out in 1997. Yeah, you and me both, Queen. She says she's never resonated with anyone like Selena because she's also a Mexican-American that grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood and never really felt all the way connected to either side. You see how the connection is already connecting? Anyway, I said it in the intro, like, I feel like there's been so many Selena movies, TV shows, documentaries, but the truth is, a lot of that stuff was unauthorized. This is the first documentary that the Quintanillas are actually involved with. They said, we are ready to tell the story, to tell our story. So where do you tell this story that in some form or fashion has been told many times before? Well, first things first, Universal has a shit ton of footage in their vault. Let's start there. And the Quintanillas themselves had a full room of tapes that had never been digitized. So Isabel and her producer, Daniel, went through every single tape. 93 hours of footage from the Quintanillas, 169 hours of archival footage from other sources. They spent 2 years going back and forth to Corpus to go through all these tapes with their family, which they said helped grow the bond and, more importantly, the trust with the family. That same family that until now has never done sit-down interviews like this before. Every interview with the family or band member was 4 to 6 hours, and everybody is here. Selena's father, Abraham, her mother, Marcella, her sister, Suzette, her brother, AB, and her husband, Chris Perez. Squash that beef. All right. Plot time. I mean, it's a documentary, so it's not really like a plot. Whatever. Selena y Los Dinos, A Family's Legacy, tells the Selena Quintanilla story from the beginning. And it starts with her father, Abraham. When he was a young man, he was in a band called the Dinos. And they was mostly doing covers of American artists. I don't know, a group of Mexicans singing in white clubs in Texas in the 50s. No sirree, Bob. Them white people said, if you don't get the fuck up out of here. So once the Dinos had it up to here with the racism, they decided to start playing Tejano music. What is Tejano music, you ask, if you allow me to indulge? Not to take too much of your time here, but Tejano music originated in northern Mexico. Then in Texas around the 1850s, it evolved and adapted with the introduction of the accordion, largely because of all the German, Polish, and Czech people that immigrated over. Then they added some horns, pianos, and organs. Where'd they get that from? American jazz. Further evolving Tejano music into what is largely known as today.
In the 1850s, Germans immigrated to Mexico and to Monterrey, as well as to the United States. The German immigrants to Monterrey brought the accordion, polka, waltz, and other European dance styles.
Literally, is there anything she can't do? Anyway, Selena's dad and his band were just getting to the swing of things, but at that same time, Abraham and Marcella, his wife, were starting to grow their family, and he realized he's spending too much time on the road. His kids don't even recognize him when he comes home. So he decides to give up the game and start working at a local plant. Where have I heard this before? Anyway, shortly after that, Marcella gave birth to Selena. When Selena was about 6 years old, Abraham heard her sing for the first time, and he was like, wait a minute. Went out that same day and got a bass guitar for his son, AB, and a drum set for his daughter, Suzette. Where have I heard this before? Anyway, Abraham realized that that was the best way for him to get back into the music business. And if you think this is the most Joe Jackson story in history, yes, it is. However, I have no reason to believe that Abraham was beating their ass. So, subtle differences. Okay, from there, the documentary lets you follow this family's journey, led by Selena, from singing in her family's restaurant at 10 years old to becoming the Grammy-winning queen of Tejano music. So what's my take? Let me put it like this. Like I said, I watched this movie back in March at South by Southwest. Loved it. Told myself I'll make a video when it comes out. And here we are. The other day, I emailed Netflix so I can get the press notes. Normally, when I email Netflix, I would say, hey, Netflix, I see this movie or TV show is coming out. I would love to watch this early. Can you send me a screener? And they could say yes or no. But this time, I didn't need a screener because I already seen it. I just needed the press notes so I could read all the facts and give them to y'all. I guess they assumed that I also needed the screener, so they just sent it along with the press notes. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's nice of you, but I didn't need this. But let me just throw it on for a little bit so I could remember the groove. You know, March was a long time ago. Let me just watch the beginning to see, like, just, jog my memory of how it started and all that kind of stuff. Let me just watch a couple minutes. I watched the whole damn thing all over again. This freaking documentary is incredible, and Selena's quite possibly the most lovable person in music history. Okay. I don't even know where to start, so I'm just going to be saying stuff. I, too, discovered Selena with the release of the 1997 movie, just like our director. But I'm not going to claim to be some super fan. I don't know all the songs. I don't know all the drama, and I damn sure don't speak Spanish. I just know that me and my little sister got a lot of love for Selenas. So I don't know how much those diehard fans have seen and heard about Selena, but there's no way they've seen and heard everything in this documentary. There's no way. The amount of footage in this film is incredible. I said the word incredible twice. A Mexican-American family navigating the music business in the late 70s to the mid-90s and documenting everything on video cameras as if they knew we would need this footage. And shout out to Selena's sister Suzette, because as the story goes, she was the one that was responsible for carrying around those big-ass video camcorders and just recording her family existing. Like, probably was so annoying putting those cameras in their faces. And I'm sure at some points they hated it. Now look, but it's not just the amount of footage they have. It's what they captured. It's always nice to hear from the band and learn how some of her most popular songs were created. We love to hear about the artistry. So many documentaries are about the spice and the scandal. Of course, we love the spice and the scandal, but let's normalize celebrating artists for their artistry. But as much as I loved hearing those stories in this documentary, the heart of this movie was watching a real family with real love for each other. Every band can only have one lead singer. There's only one Michael. There's only one Selena. And a lot of the times you see the jealousy that can come from that. even in a family band. Sometimes, especially in a family band, and they're the youngest, you can imagine how an older sibling could feel. When you hear the present day interviews from Selena's brother AB and her sister Suzette, these are grown-ups. These people got families. They're not going to be out here talking about those times as if they was jealous of Selena. You expect that. Like right now here in 2025, I would tell you that growing up, I was a great big brother to my little sister. But if there was footage, might give y'all a different point of view. Anyway, in Selena y Los Dinos, we're watching the footage from those times. We're seeing the long bus rides on Bertha. We're seeing the hotel rooms, the rehearsals. Nah, they really rocked with Selena. Just two older siblings loving and protecting their younger sibling. It is crazy. You just don't get the sense of jealousy at all. Furthermore, have I ever used that word furthermore? Furthermore, it's zero amount of diva-ness, cockiness, narcissism from their star, Selena. It's just, this girl might be perfect. I gotta figure this out. Every single clip you see of her, it's the same bubbly, positive personality. Always smiling, always laughing, always cracking a joke.
Thank you, Grupo Los Dinos. When I win, they win. And when they lose, I don't know them.
Almost always surrounded by her family and never getting tired of it. Literally every other documentary like this, artists on tour for weeks and months at a time, being pulled in different directions. 10 times out of 10, at some point, they're going to snap. They're going to regress. They're going to say, oh, is it all worth it? Leave me alone. Oh, they're in their trailer. Don't bother them. They're in one of their moods. Every single documentary. Is it all worth it? You know what I'm talking about. You've seen these things a million times. The music business is tough, man, and especially for the star. Selena may have never done that. And maybe she did at some point, just wasn't on camera. But like, bro, these people got 18,000 hours of footage or whatever it is, and you just don't see it. And that's what makes this tragedy that much more tragic. After watching this, I know I would want to be her friend. And if I'm being honest, there is a 98% chance that I would fall in love with her. May the best Chris win. I can't imagine someone wanting to hurt her feelings, much less... Anyway, we all know the Yolanda story. And this documentary wisely doesn't spend too much time on her. In October of 1995, Yolanda was sentenced to life in prison with the chance of parole after 30 years for killing Selena. And would you believe that this year marked the 30th year? I don't even know how that works. Anyway, back in March of this year, the same month that I was watching this documentary in Texas, Yolanda's appeal for parole was denied. I actually have the court docs here, and the head board of parole told her, get your bitch ass back in that cell before I whoop your mouth. I think it's different. I think it might be. Okay. They didn't say that, but they were thinking it. Anyway, joking aside, Yolanda will be eligible for parole again in 5 years in 2030, but hopefully the courts rule the exact same way. Freaking Texas, man. You and your guns. Look at this. Jesus Christ. Whatever. Yolanda is not what defines Selena's story. Her legacy is defined by the unquestionable impact she left on music and the world, especially for people that look like her. For the kids who maybe got teased at school for being Mexican, you know how it is. Kids don't want to be different. They don't want to stand out. So they would go to school and leave their heritage at home. Selena made it cool to bring it with them.
Ella me dio la confianza para ser una mujer hispánica que podía hacer lo que yo quería.
Listen, as I wrap up here, again, I don't want to come off like I'm on the front lines of this Selena fandom. I am on the outside looking in. But as a moonwalker, I respect the other fandoms. Just seems that sometimes, again, from the outside looking in, that a lot of the diehard fans think that Selena's family is using her legacy to exploit her and just earn a quick buck. I don't know. Again, as that same outsider, I just don't see it. I see a family that's trying to preserve the legacy of their daughter by any means necessary. And they wouldn't have to do that if she wasn't taken from them so early. So however her family chooses to pay tribute, I support it. Because she was their Selena long before she was ours. Selena y Los Dinos, A Family's Legacy, comes exclusively to Netflix on Monday, November 17th. Please watch it. It is excellent.
If you have a dream, if you don't try, you're never gonna know. So, I'm gonna try.
As always, thanks for checking out Tate's Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. In the comments, if you a diehard Selena fan, tell me the most new thing that you saw from this. If you don't know so much about Selena, what was your favorite part of the documentary? Are you gonna check this out? Did you watch the movie in '97? Tell me, and if you're a deep fan, if you're a big fan, tell me some of the deep cuts. Cause I be listening, you know what I listen to. But I'm sure there's some the ones that only the real fans would know, be like, you gotta check this out. So yeah, put all that stuff in the comments, man. Freaking Selena, man, this gotta be I said she was the most lovable person in music history. This girl might be the most lovable person in history. But anyway, thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. One thing I will say, if Selena was still here, based on these videos, she would be eating up the social media world. This is the most stage presence on camera Riz you ever would see. I could just see her lives and the family, they still look good. So Selena would still be looking good. It's a terrible, terrible story. It's so sad. Fuck. Are y'all gonna watch this thing? Can y'all just please watch this? And let me know. Am I tweaking? Am I glazing it?